Bleacher Report just released their new 2025 NBA mock draft after the Desmond Bane trade, which is going to have the Memphis Grizzlies picking at 16 instead of the Orlando Magic. What they do not have, though, is the New Orleans Pelicans. They just traded for the number 23 overall pick. They swapped the 2026 first round pick with the Pacers, so the Pacers are giving the Pelicans the 23rd pick, and they're going to take their own first round pick in next year's draft. Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe. Go into the description to submit your guys' video ideas because I promise I will do them. And let's start off with this new Bleacher Report 2025 NBA mock draft. Cooper Flag going to the Dallas Mavericks. No surprise right there. Obviously the number one overall prospect in this year's draft class. The Mavericks extremely lucky they were in this situation after just trading their best player, Luka Doncic, just a couple of months ago. Number 2, Dylan Harper to the Spurs. No matter what you think, if Ace Bailey is the better fit to the Spurs, if VJ Edgecombe is the better fit to the Spurs, you have to take the best player available at number 2, and that is easily Dylan Harper. I guess I could take a look at the player comps too. Kawhi Leonard for Cooper Flag. I don't know about that one. Jalen Johnson and Franz Wagner. Those are some newer names. I've seen Jalen Johnson. I haven't seen Franz, and I haven't seen Kawhi. Okay. Dylan Harper, he got Cade Cunningham and De'Aaron Fox. I do like the Cade Cunningham comp. And at number 3, the Sixers are going to take VJ Edgecombe. As we get closer to the draft, it's feeling like the Sixers might lean VJ over Ace for right now. Maybe we get some more news and it just switches. But over the last couple of days, we've heard that the Sixers do like VJ Edgecombe and believe that he could bring them value right away. This is a team that wants to win a championship, and VJ Edgecombe is a guy that can defend on the perimeter, can hit open threes, and is extremely athletic. He's a guy that can play on any NBA team right now and give them good production. At 4, actually, VJ, Andrew Wiggins, Victor Oladipo, and Iman Shumpert. I like the last two in VO and Iman. At 4, the Hornets are taking Kamen Malawach. This is something I have not seen yet. Okay. So they're going to replace their current Duke center, Mark Williams, with a new Duke center in Kamen Malawach. Obviously, we know at the trade deadline, the Charlotte Hornets tried to trade Mark Williams for Dalton Connect and a first-round pick, but the trade did not end up going through because of some issues on the Lakers side of things with Mark Williams. I think that their Hornets are most likely going to try to shop Mark Williams again. This front office is not attached to him. So if they do end up shopping Mark Williams and they do find a trade partner for Mark Williams, the Kamen Malawach pick does make sense. I have reached Malawach more specifically at 6 to the Wizards because I like the front court pairing with him and obviously Alex Sarr. But 4 to the Hornets, if they really think he's the best prospect available and they would rather replace Mark Williams than try to find their connecting piece at the shooting guard position in between LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, then they do make this pick. I think Trey Johnson's the better option. I think Con Knipple is the better option. I would even probably say Ace Bailey is the better pick here. But let's go ahead and replace Mark Williams and get Kamen Malawach. His player comps are Derek Lively. At 5, we're going to have the Utah Jazz take Jeremiah Fears. Okay. Ace Bailey still on the board. Trey Johnson Trey Johnson and Ace Bailey still on the board, and we go with Jeremiah Fears. I hate this pick for the Utah Jazz. Number 1, I think Isaiah Collier can be this team's long-term point guard, and they need to get their next main 1A scorer, and I think that can be a Trey Johnson or an Ace Bailey. I don't even know if Jeremiah Fears is better than Isaiah Collier right out the gate, and I think if he is, he would make this pick. But because he's not, I don't think you can justify Jeremiah Fears at number 5. I would rather Trey Johnson. I would rather Ace Bailey. I do not like this pick at all for the Utah Jazz. At 6, there's Ace Bailey to the Washington Wizards. Yeah, if he's still available, you take him. High ceiling score. It makes 100% sense for the Wizards to take Ace Bailey if he falls to number 6. At 7, we're going to have the Pelicans take Trey Johnson. Wow, if Trey Johnson's available for the Pelicans at 7, they should rejoice. Amazing pick. Trey Johnson, in my opinion, could go number 3. Someone trades up or something like that, or maybe if the Sixers just want him. I think he's that good. My 3rd overall prospect in this draft class. That's a steal, an absolute steal for the Pelicans at number 7. In my opinion, he's the best scorer in college basketball last year. He's a tough shot taker, tough shot maker, and I think he's going to excel in the NBA. His comp is Tyler Hero. I kind of like him as like a Seattle Ray Allen. Really good shooter, guy that finds his spot, can raise above the competition for his jump shot. Ace Bailey was Brandon Miller, MPJ, Rashard Lewis. That's interesting. Yeah, and Jeremiah Fears is DeJounte Murray. At number 8. Whoa. This mock draft's interesting. Noah Asenge at 8 to the Brooklyn Nets. At 8 to the Brooklyn Nets. You guys know how I feel about Asenge. I think he can be a late teens guy, an early 20s guy. I don't see his value for number 8. He's a really high ceiling defender. He's a really, really low floor offensive player. I guess for a team like the Brooklyn Nets who aren't really contending or competing, you could bring him in and develop him under Jordi Fernandez, one of the best player development coaches in the NBA. But wow, 8 is by far the highest I've seen him. Also, I don't really like it. Yeah, there's a lot of prospects that would take over Asenge, especially for the Nets at number 8. At number 9, Derek Queen to the Raptors. I don't like this either. Derek Queen doesn't give them really front court shooting. His size isn't great, and he's not a great defender. But one thing he does do is put the ball on the floor and can create plays for himself and other teammates. He's a great playmaker. He's a really crafty big man. He's not your prototypical center. He's far from that. He's really if Naz Reid didn't have a jump shot, and he's probably slightly slower. Then he's like a less craftier, but still on that same level of Naz Reid without a jump shot. He can't play defense. He can't shoot the ball. I mean, it's tough. His player comp is Alperen Sengun. I don't think he's that level. I don't really like that player comp. Asenge is Jeremy Grant. I kind of like that. Jeremy Grant out of Syracuse was a high raw defender. I like that a lot. He's obviously turned to a much different player, but as coming out of college, I don't like that comp. Derek Queen, though, I don't like this pick to the Raptors. They are great at developing guys with his size and his abilities. I just don't really like the pick to the Raptors. I think they should look at different big men in this draft class, like Rasheer Fleming, like Colin Murray-Boyles, or maybe even take a guard and a Kasper Jonas to replace maybe Emmanuel Quickley, who's becoming a bit expensive. Con Knipple is still on the board. You're telling me that the Brooklyn Nets took Noah Asenge over Con Knipple? If Con Knipple's available at 10 for the Houston Rockets, wow, that would be absolutely insane. Knipple, in my opinion, is trending towards being a top 5, if not a top 6 prospect in this draft class. I just don't know if there's any holes to his game. He can put the ball on the floor. He can find a spot in the mid-range. He's an elite three-point shooter. He also showed his ability to pass the ball, especially when he became that team's go-to guy after Cooper Flagg got hurt during the ACT tournament. But wow, 10 to the Rockets. This is an absolute steal. By far the best pick in this draft class so far. I can't believe the Nets would pass up on Knipple for Asenge. That makes no sense to me. 11. The Blazers are going to take Carter Bryant out of Arizona. I do like this pick. I think Carter Bryant, while he might be a raw prospect, while he might have not shown too much at Arizona this past year, he has all the traits, all the abilities you would want out of a player with his size. Great mid-range shooter, can hit the catch and shoot three. I like his player. I like him a lot as a player, and I think he will develop into a solid NBA player despite not having the biggest sample size in college. 12 is going to be Asen Newell to the Bulls. Again, I don't love this, man. I mean, I think if they do want to look for that center or big position to put next to maybe Montes Mazelas, I like Rasheer Fleming a lot more. I probably like Colin Murray-Boyles a lot more. I don't know if Asen Newell is a true center. I don't know if he has the size and the girth to be a true center. Also, he's not the best at defending, when it comes to pounding down low in the post. I think he's more of a power forward, probably more of a lanky big, and I just don't like the fit to the Bulls at 12. I think that's a bad pick. 13, Kaspers to the Atlanta Hawks. This is a great pick. If Kaspers falls to 13, even though the Hawks do need some big help because they're probably going to move on from Clint Capella, I think you do have to take Kaspers to be a backup guard, replace what Kobe Buffkin was supposed to bring you a couple drafts ago. His player comp is Kobe White. Honestly, I don't hate that. John Collins for Asen Newell, yeah, he's not the center. I think John Collins is a pretty solid one. And Marcus Morris for Carter Bryant. Pretty solid comps right there. CMB to the Spurs at 14. I love this. They need backup, big help Culver Bulls might be a bit undersized, but his switchability on defense, his touch around the rim, his elite playmaking for his position, I like it a lot at 14 to the Spurs. Gives them some more defense off the bench. Julius Randle, Anthony Mason, 2 good comps. 15. Thunder get Cedric Coward. Again, I like this a lot. He's the guy who apparently Bleacher Report thinks is the NBA draft's biggest riser. I think he probably is, him or Asenge. But yeah, Cedric Coward, elite catch and shoot player. Also, like many players in this draft class, is great at finding his spots in the mid-range. He averaged 17 points for Washington State this year in only 6 games. NBA drafts evaluators are going to bank on that, and hopefully he comes in and gives them good value right away. I like him to the Thunder a lot, especially if they get priced out of guys like maybe Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe for the future and have to get themselves a replacement. Cedric Coward is that perfect guy. Jarris Walker is his pro comp. I don't know how much I love that. I guess I could see him because of how Jarris Walker at Houston is not the Jarris Walker in the NBA. He has become a strictly catch and shoot guy for the Pacers for when he is on the court. So I guess you could compare him to Jarris Walker at this current moment right now. But out of Houston, I don't really know if I love that too much. Neat Clifford to the Grizzlies at 16. Another one. I love this pick. Is a guy that can come into the Grizzlies organization and play right away. I've talked about how good the Grizzlies are at developing their young pieces, and Neat Clifford is the perfect guy to come in there and give them good value. 17. Yegor Demon to the Timberwolves. I think there's some big men on the board I would prefer over Demon, specifically for the Timberwolves. There's Thomas Sorber who's still on the board. I don't know if I would take Baron J. But yeah, I don't know if I love Demon here to the Timberwolves because I don't know. I just think they're better prospects to take here at 17. 18. We have the Wizards taking Will Riley. Okay, gives them a nice raw player. They do take 2 wings in this draft class in Ace Bailey and Will Riley. Maybe you would rather see maybe a Thomas Sorber here, or maybe go ahead and get yourself a guard. But I guess Will Riley, with his potential, with what he showed at Illinois this year, it could make sense for the Wizards at 18. At 19, we have Traore going to the Brooklyn Nets. It's a solid pick. They did take Noah Asenge with their first pick, so 2 international players. I don't mind this though. Traore for me was a top 5 prospect going into the year. Didn't get the burn he maybe wanted at St. Quentin this year. Not a great 3-point shooter, but is great at driving downhill, at making plays for his teammates. And I think at 19 for the Brooklyn Nets, it is a solid pick. Bashir Fleming still on the board, but you did take Noah Asenge with that 8th overall pick, so I can't gloss over that. But I guess getting a point guard, that does make sense in Nolan Traore. 20, you have the Heat getting Walter Clayton Jr. Another pick I really do like. The Heat are in desperate need of more guards in that room right now. You have Tyler Hero, obviously. You have Davion Mitchell. But after that, it's Terry Rozier, and is he even allowed to step foot on an NBA court ever again? I don't know. We'll see. But Clayton, he honestly doesn't have terrible size. 6'2" without shoes. Plays up to 6'3", maybe 6'3.5" with shoes. We know what he is as a scorer, and he comes into the Heat organization right away. Willingness to play defense, willingness to create for others, and hit down the open shot. Great pick for the Miami Heat at number 20. His player comps are Payne Pritchard, Cole Anthony, Red Van Vliet. It's cool. Jazz, Thomas Sorber at 21. Elite pick. Especially if we're still going to have those Walker Kessler conversations, whether or not we move him. And even if we don't, this is a great backup big right here for the Utah Jazz in Thomas Sorber. Great touch around the rim, can hit down the mid-range shot, and is a really underrated playmaker in the half court. Good pick for the Jazz here. At 22, we have the Atlanta Hawks taking Maxime right now. So they ended up taking, who was it? It was Kasparis and Maxime right now in this draft class. That's a pretty good draft class if you're asking me. I think right now probably has locked himself into being a first-round draft pick at this point in the process. He's a great he's a good shooter outside the perimeter. We also know he has good touch around the rim, can back somebody down, and has a good baby hook and stuff like that. Defensively though, that does raise some questions. That's probably his number 1 flaw, is how is he going to perform defensively. But in a Hawks system where he's gonna probably play behind 2 big men right away if they don't move Clint Capella, and even if they do, Mohamed Gay has proven to be a solid replacement or a solid player for them. I do like right now to the Hawks to maybe be a long-term guy behind, or maybe even with Onyeka Okongwu. His comp is Quimpo, 23, Baron J to the Indiana Pacers. I do like this if right now is off the board. But this pick would be the Pelicans because they just traded for it. And with who is still on the board, I think you just have to take Rasheer Fleming because he's that good. But Baron J, to the Pacers specifically, they need more center help. I like this a lot. 24. Whoa, I forgot about Jace Richardson completely. If the Pelicans are here, I think they would take Jace Richardson. Who else? I think the Heat probably would consider Jace Richardson over Walter Clayton. But yeah, this is pretty crazy that he fell all the way to 24, and the OKC Thunder are picking up Cedric Howard and Jace Richardson in the same draft class. Honestly, I don't hate that. I like this pick at 24 for the Thunder. He's a faller, so taking him just for his value specifically is a really good pick. Tyrese Maxey is his pro comp. I don't think he has Tyrese Maxey's speed or downhill abilities. I don't really love that player comp. 25, Rasheer Fleming to the Orlando Magic. This is a team that needs big help, and a guy that can literally do it all in Rasheer Fleming. Can hit a catch and shoot three, can honestly put the ball on the floor and hit a three. Also great at driving downhill. I think personally he can guard every single position on the court. Magic got an absolute steal at 25 in Rasheer Fleming. At 26, Danny Wolf to the Brooklyn Nets. Alright, I guess just take a shot on that type of prospect. All-around offense prospect, can pass the ball, can shoot the ball, good at setting screens, is good in the high posts, good at honestly in the dunker position. Playmaking from there is also really good. Defense, that's where the big questions are. I think the Nets should take a guy like Danny Wolf though. Their draft class so far is a Senge, Traore, and Danny Wolf. I don't love that, to be honest. 27, the Nets wow, I don't love this draft class for the Nets at all. Drake Powell at 27. I think there's a lot of better prospects we could take here. Adu Thiero is one guy I would for sure take over Drake Powell. A couple other guys as well. Yeah, I don't love this pick. Raw perimeter defender who not an amazing three-point shooter, but it's going to come in and probably be a corner sitter for you right away, just like he was at UNC. Liam McNeely. So you're telling me the Nets passed up on Liam McNeely twice at 26 and 27. I don't agree with that at all. Celtics, absolute steal. And Liam McNeely at 20. This is a McDonald's All-American. This is the guy who was supposed to be a high-end lottery prospect before he got hurt in the beginning of January. Didn't perform that well after his injury, but he came into the combine and performed well. I'm so surprised he's dropping all the way to 28 in this mock draft. Wow. 29. Noah Penda to the Suns. I'd like to see them get a more safer prospect out the gate that could actually play for them. I'm thinking Cam Jones. There's probably a couple other wings like Adu Thiero I would take over Noah Penda, but it's not a terrible pick. High defensive upside. I understand it. 30. Ben Saraf to the Clippers. Again, is there it's between Ben Saraf and Cam Jones for me for the Los Angeles Clippers at 30. I think Saraf's playmaking abilities, though, I think you would take him maybe over Cam Jones in that instance. I do like him maybe backing up or being the third guard next year behind James Harden. Now, second round, we're going to go a bit faster. 31 is Adu Thiero. Great pick for the Timberwolves. Absolute steal. I thought the Jazz, so they must have had a trade here. Okay. 32, Kalkbrenner reunites him with Baylor Shireman. Great pick right there. Hugo Gonzalez at 33 to the Hornets. I will take his upside. 34, Chaz Lanier to the Charlotte Hornets as well. Okay, might be a bit high, but I don't mind it. Alex Tui to the Sixers. Good sizable small forward. He's about 6'8", 6'9". Can put the ball on the floor. Can also hit the open three. Jameer Watkins, another guy I really like. I think he'd be a great fit with the Brooklyn Nets. Can see him even play some real minutes right away. 37 is Tyrese Proctor. Starting to like him more and more. I hated him as a prospect the first 2 years at Duke as a freshman and a sophomore, but now coming out as a junior, I'm liking what I'm seeing. 38, Cam Jones to the Spurs. Holy steal. That is crazy. Absolute steal. Yannick Conan Niederhauser at 39 to the Raptors gives them some more help in the big man department. I like that. 40 is Hansen Yang. Another more foundation in the front court. Kobe Bryant, get a shooter to the Warriors. It's probably going to work. 42 is Amari Williams. I do like that to the Sacramento Kings. Janai Broom. Okay. Hunter Salas, 44 to the Thunder. That's a cool pick. Kobe Sanders at 45 to the Chicago Bulls. Javon Small, 46 to the Orlando Magic. Rocco Zikarsky, 47 to the Bucks. We'll see what happens to Brook Lopez, but that could be a really underrated pick. At 48, Ryan Nembhard, the facilitator, the point guard, the brother of Andrew Nembhard, at 48 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, it kind of sucks you didn't get his brother's height. Andrew's about, 6'5"? Ryan's 5'11", so that's 6 inches between them two. If he had his brother's height, he might have been drafted out of Creighton as a freshman. 48, Lachlan Olbrich out of Illawarra. Isn't this where, I swear, there's a prospect a couple years ago that played at Illawarra, Australia. Solid pick though right there. Bogoslav Markovic out of Serbia. Another really solid pick. I mean, for the Knicks, I do like what he brings. Versatile-wise, at the 4 position, I think the Knicks probably could look at something different. There's a couple of guys like Sion James that I like. I probably wouldn't take Mark Sears for them, but Sion James, Eric Dixon. Well, he cut his beard off. Alright, I don't know how I like that look. Eric Dixon, maybe even Bryce Williams that I prefer for the Knicks, but I don't know. Brooks Barnhizer, 54 to the Pacers. This is the first time I've ever seen him in a mock draft, so that's interesting. Tamar Bates at 55 to the Los Angeles Lakers. Sion James at 56. I would love to see him in a Knicks uniform next year, but we'll see. Micah Peavy, another guy I would really like to see in a Knicks uniform. Then we have John Tonje, and finally Vlad Golden to the Houston Rockets. So that's going to be it for the mock draft reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go into the description to submit your video idea. Tell me what you guys think about the Pelicans trade up to 23. Who do you think they're going to target? Are they going to move 23 in another trade? Tell me about the Desmond Bane trade. What are your thoughts on that? Who do you think the Memphis Grizzlies will target with the 16th overall pick? And I hope you guys enjoy your day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.